Welcome to the Aglovad IT Solution Podcast. Here you will get to hear audio describing the information that is shared in our latest blogs. And today's topic is React Native App Development Cost Breakdown. So, here we begin. React Native needs no introduction in the world of cross-platform mobile app development. It has secured the 8th rank among all respondents and 5th among professional developers in the Stack Overflow Survey 2022 report. It powers major companies such as Facebook, Discord, Instagram, Salesforce, and more. However, its reach isn't limited to these top companies. Many SMEs and mid-scale businesses are increasingly adopting it. Before we get down to the React Native cost breakdown, we should first understand what makes React Native an ideal choice for SMEs and enterprises. Moving on, let's discuss, when is React Native ideal for your project? Well, each platform has certain strengths and weaknesses. Their focus also differs from each other. React Native is ideal for your project when you are planning to build A. MVP app. B. Rewriting apps in new technology. C. You have an existing website or web app. Discussing these points in detail. Let's start with point A, that is, MVP app. If you are looking to develop a bare-to-bones proof of concept or a prototype before investing or committing fully to your project, React Native is an ideal choice. For instance, Airbnb leveraged React Native back in 2016 to power their mobile apps. However, once they understood what they wanted moving ahead, they shifted their projects from React Native to native app platforms 2 years later. B. Rewriting apps in new technology. If you have an existing mobile app based on other technology and want a fresh start or want to scale your app on a better platform, migrating to React Native is an ideal choice. The migration is seamless and can be undertaken gradually for better adoption. C. You have an existing website or web app. If you have a traditional website that isn't serving well, to expand your market share and make your app more available in the niche, it's time to go for cross-platform mobile app development with React Native. It mimics a native-like app development experience and also performs well. So, these were the conditions where React Native is ideal for your project. Now let's discuss why is React Native a cost-effective solution for your project. React Native is a cross-platform mobile app development framework, which means you can build an app for iOS and Android using a single shared codebase, at cost-effective rates and half the time to market. Apart from being cross-platform, it also offers many cost benefits that you should know about. For example, 1. Low maintenance costs. 2. Single talent versus dedicated teams. 3. Marketed tested solutions and industry standard libraries. 4. Seamless third-party integrations. And 5. Reduced UI costs. Now let's discuss these points in detail. Starting with the point 1. That is low maintenance costs. If we compare the maintenance costs of native apps to React Native, it reduces drastically. With a native app, assuming you cover both Android and iOS, you will have to update and test your mobile app for each device separately. In contrast, apps built with React Native can leverage the benefit of avoiding versioning. In addition, since you share a single codebase when writing your app in React Native, you need to fix bugs and maintain only one codebase. Hence, you end up saving big bucks on maintenance. Moving on towards the second point, single talent versus dedicated teams. Again, since your app will primarily use a single codebase, you don't need to hire dedicated developers for dedicated platforms, which would have increased your app development budget by many folds. Besides, managing and establishing effective communication between large teams can be troublesome, as it leads to inconsistent development and more chances of facing bugs and project delays. If you hire professional React Native developers from a trusted React Native app development company, you can rest assured that you will not have to hire or manage other talents. Now let's discuss the third point. Marketed tested solutions and industry standard libraries. React Native has a massive community with maximum active participation. How does this benefit you? First, you have access to an oasis of pre-made solutions that might help you with any development hurdle you face. If there isn't, you could raise a question or discussion of popular sites like Stack Overflow or DEV's React community to get a plausible solution for your query. Moreover, there are limitless React Native libraries for integrating specific functionalities or functions into your React Native app. And all these libraries follow the best industry coding standards and best practices. Hence, you would save time and money, since you won't have to build your app from scratch. The fourth point is seamless third-party integrations. If you are planning to build a B2C mobile app, you may require various features such as payment gateways, social logins, and other custom features per your business niche and requirements. However, React Native makes integration of such services a cakewalk, since you can integrate any third-party module to your React Native mobile app with the right plugin, such as React Native Modelbox, React Native Router Flux, and more. And the fifth and last point is reduced UI costs. React Native is the best framework for bringing consistent and uniform design standards to your mobile app across various devices. This consistency helps developers build better and more responsive user interfaces, leading to a seamless customer experience of using the app. So, you get a smooth user interface at an almost half time and cost. So, these were the points, or we can say benefits, of React Native, which explains why it is cost-effective solution for a project. Moving on, taking this podcast ahead, let's discuss the factors affecting React Native app development cost in. While there are many cost benefits of using React Native to power your mobile app, many factors will greatly affect how much you would be spending on getting your React Native app developed. Most of these factors would be based on your business requirements and chosen approach, so understanding all available options well before making a next move is important. Following are the top factors that influence the overall React Native app development costs in. For better understanding, let's divide them into two categories. They are 1. App-related costs, and 2. Development team costs. 1. App-related costs. Certain costs are associated with building or maintaining and running an app. Let's see how React Native handles these cost factors. Again, the app-related costs can be divided on the basis of these factors: A. App category and complexity. B. App design. C. App maintenance. D. App distribution. A. App features. F. Add-on features. And G. Admin panel. Starting with app category and complexity. Which category your app falls under will heavily influence the overall cost of developing React Native app. For instance, a basic to-do app will be more cost-effective than setting up a basic m-commerce app. Why? Well, the scope of work in m-commerce apps is drastically more than a to-do app, since you'd need to add payment gateways and product listings and create more screens and filters. Hence, app category will greatly influence the cost of your React Native app. B. App design. If you are building a social media app or an e-commerce app, your main priority is to keep your users hooked to the app and navigate all of your offerings or features. The best way to ensure customer engagement is to focus on app design. A proper app design strategy would include a well-articulated user flow with transitions and animations, if needed, when users move from one screen to th. Other. Designing app screens and user experience requires precise attention to detail and a proper understanding of what you want your user to do on each screen. So, naturally, hiring app designers will come at varying costs depending on their experience level and your project's complexity. C. App maintenance. As we discussed earlier, app maintenance is one aspect where you can be at ease. Since you'd be developing a single code-based mobile app, you won't need to worry about testing or updating your app for each mobile model. Yet, depending on your project scale and frequency of updates, the React Native app development cost will vary. Design changes, updates, and bug fixes will affect your overall app maintenance cost. D. App distribution. Developing an app is great, but it's of little to no use if you don't publish it on popular mobile apps marketplaces such as Google Play and Apple App Store, especially if you are building a customer-centric app. Both these platforms levy a standard charge for publishing your app on their platform. For Google Play Store, you will need to pay a one-time fee of $25. In iOS, you will be charged $99 annually. For Android, you can still publish your app on other free third-party marketplaces. However, for iOS, App Store is the only option. A. App features. Naturally, your app will have many features, regardless of size and scale. Integrating each feature into your React Native app takes its own time. However, combining each feature has an average timeline and associated cost, which can help you estimate your overall React Native app cost. F. Add-on features. For any client-centric app, you might need your users to create a profile or provide them with ways to pay for your products or services. Therefore, you should give social media logins and payment gateways to meet such requirements. Moreover, if you plan to add any other custom functionalities, they will contribute to the overall React Native app development cost. And G. Admin panel. If you need an admin panel for managing your app and tracking insights, you will also need to build an additional admin panel with your mobile app. Depending on what level of features and insights you need, the cost of React Native app development will vary accordingly. So, these were the factors influencing the app-related costs. Moving further, let's discuss the second category, that is development team costs. The second big consideration to keep in mind is where and from whom you are getting your app developed. Also, when do you want it? Let's see the possible answers to these questions before moving forward. 1. Who is working on your project? Individual talent or a remote team versus in-house team? First, React Native app development cost consideration would be who is working on your project. Do you need an entire team of React developers, or do you already have an existing tech team but need a project manager or additional developer to meet your deadlines? Your overall cost to develop React Native app will vary greatly depending on your situation. Suppose if you are hiring a freelancers, they are quick to get, extremely cost effective, but with higher project risk. Should be assigned or hired for low-level development needs. If you are hiring an in-house team, it will cause an initial time-consuming setup, additional training costs, slower onboarding. You should be hired if you have recurring IT needs. And, if you are hiring a dedicated developer team, it is quickest setup, no additional costs, quick scaling, and lowest project risk. You should be hired if you want the most cost-effective, assured method of developing an industry-grade React Native app. Question number 2. How experienced are the React Native developers? Are they entry-level, middle-level or full-stack React Native developer? Once you have decided how to hire React Native developers, you will also need to figure out what level of expertise is needed to carry out your project. It is given that an entry-level React Native developer will cost lesser than an experienced certified React Native developer. In addition, depending on your requirements, you will need different team compositions to work on your React Native project. Question number 3. Where is your React Native project being developed? Onshore versus nearshore versus offshore app development agency. Next, we will focus on where is your React Native app development company or developer located. This greatly impacts the native app development cost since the living cost and minimum wage rates differ from country to country. There are 3 approaches you should know about. These approaches are A. Onshore development, B. Nearshore development, and C. Offshore development. A. Onshore development refers to outsourcing your project to a dedicated React Native agency within the geographical confinement of your country. The main benefit of this approach is direct and instant access to your developer team and shared work ethics. However, this convenience comes at exorbitant prices compared to the hourly React developer rates of nearshore or offshore developers. B. Nearshore development refers to outsourcing your React Native project to a React Native company near your country or neighboring countries. With nearshore development, you'd still retain cultural and work values to an extent and still be in the same time zone as your team. However, the talents are still highly priced, and the supply of professional talents is limited. C. Offshore development refers to outsourcing your project to a React Native agency far off your country or location, mostly in a different time zone than you. The benefit of outsourcing to offshore locations is that React Native app development cost in India or Ukraine is significantly lower than any onshore, nearshore companies while retaining subpar skills and professionalism. Question number 3. When do you want your project delivered? Immediately or in adequate time? Another important consideration that will greatly affect your React Native app development cost is the project's urgency. For example, suppose you have an enterprise-grade complex app requirement that needs to be published to the market as soon as possible. In that case, your React development agency will need to deploy more dedicated talents to your project to compensate for the lack of time. Hence, you would be paying for more talent, increasing your overall React Native app development cost. So, these were the 2 factors affecting React Native app development cost. Now let's discuss the mistakes to avoid, practices that can increase your React Native app cost. We understood the cost benefits of using React Native, and the various factors affecting it. However, you should also be aware of the most commonly committed mistakes, that can lead to increased React Native costs. Ensure not to follow these practices to keep your React Native app development costs optimized. 1. Trying to mimic native-like performance. React Native can help make your app look like a native app, but to expect it to replicate the performance of native apps can be harmful. There is a reason for the massive price difference between an average native app and versus React Native app. While you can rely on native app developers to add one or two native features in your React Native app solution, if you find yourself doing it for most parts, you should rather shift to native platforms like Swift or Kotlin. And 2. Adding security assurances. React Native has standard security capabilities out of the box, but they can still lack majorly compared to native apps built on Swift or Kotlin. However, many developers suggest adding native-like security features to React Native app by integrating native code into your project. While this is possible, it can increase the overall cost of React Native app significantly. This was your ultimate guide to React Native app developing. Cost. Consider these pointers before choosing the right platform, technology partner, and approach to building your mobile app. With this, we are wrapping up this podcast. Thanks for listening. For more such informative content, keep following our podcast.